So sometimes we review products and we say things that aren't necessarily nice about some of those products. And then when somebody corrects something, we like to be sure we give them credit. So here's a review of a new fixture from Strand Lighting. In our last review, we were reviewing a Strand LED that we found to be too large, too noisy, and although it had great color rendering, we felt that all of the negatives were too big a problem to use it for any of our applications. And we've been complaining about noise with Strand LED products for quite a while, as well as physical size. So Strand, to their credit, has come out with a whole new series of fixtures based on a new product called Acclaim, which is an engine. So this is the engine back here, and this is the Acclaim zoom spot with a short barrel that is about the size of an ETC Color Source Junior. And we have been testing this thing here for a week or so. We had the ETC product with it, and unfortunately I had to give it back to the rep. So we don't have that here anymore. But what we found with it, it is every bit as bright, every bit as quiet if it's set in the studio mode, which is what we currently have this set for. And the color, it's an RGB with lime. The color is every bit as good as the ETC Color Source. Sorry about this squeaky floor here. It's kind of driving me crazy. But anyway, what you've got is you've got a very simple engine on the side, very simple menu system, where if you want to go in and do things like I'm going to do, where I'm going to actually change the fan mode. Actually, no, that's not what I want. I want the output mode. So in studio, which is where I have it set, it's approximately 10% less light output than in standard. And you'll notice once it's in standard, the fan is ramping up. Now, compared to their other fixture, even at this setting, it's considerably quieter, but in our world, which is primarily studio and theater use, we prefer the studio output mode, which is very quiet. And to be honest, the 10% difference in the actual light output is insignificant. Some of the things we really like about this, it has some really heavy duty hardware, probably enough to hang a Subaru from, but definitely a nice thing. Shutters, everything about it, smooth, easy. And then when you get down to the zoom controls, these are literally like a tactical weapon in terms of the quality of the fittings. So when you're going to do like a sharp focus or any adjustments to this thing, when you finally get them where you want them, these knurled knobs are extremely nice to work with, as opposed to some of the, to be honest, kind of cheap plastic stuff you get on some other people's stuff. So really nice quality, all the metal work, everything about this, their stuff has always been quality. Our problem was size and noise. And they've now got the size and noise issue solved. Nice product, there's a whole series. This is the zoom spot, which is I think a 15 to 30.
It needs correction.
You don't know that!
Zoom. They also have a version where these barrels are replaceable with standard ellipsoidal barrels, and then they have a Fresnel. And there is soon to be a Psych coming as well. So it's a whole series of fixtures with the same optics and different types of light output. Definitely worth looking at. And if you're like we are, where you care about noise being part of what you're doing, because you end up with 20 or 30 fixtures on stage all working at once, fan noise is additive, and it can get to a problem where you're trying to do recordings or other things. So they've done a beautiful job, and I have to give them credit for that.